of the Cleveland Browns training camp from Greenbrier. This is the Fanatical Elves Network. I'm John. Welcome aboard. We've had our first day, and there's been a lot of news today. We're going to be talking about it. They're coming up on the Fanatical Elves show in just a little bit over an hour from now. But we wanted to get the specifics of the news of the day. Amari Cooper is back. Thank God, right? A few other big things that have come up. Greg Newsome and Dalvin Tomlinson. These two guys are out. Greg Newsome suffered some apparent hamstring injury last week while he was working out and had surgery on that hamstring already. Now, when Kevin Stefanski was asked, will he be ready for week one? The answer was yes. Hopefully. We'll see. It's not too far away, and a hamstring injury coming, especially surgery. Who knows? Greg Newsome's one of those guys. They gave him that extension for his fifth year. I've never been a big fan of Greg Newsome, and this isn't helping. Dalvin Tomlinson, veteran, 30 years old, did something to his knee. They're doing some sort of surgery, arthroscopic surgery tomorrow. Again, he could potentially be ready for week one, but we just don't know. So you got two major players on the defensive side of the ball already injured. Not good. And I know it's early, but this will give an opportunity for more players, rookies, second and third year players to really step up. Like I said, I've not been a big fan of Greg Newsome. Other guys that, can get in there, do their thing. Martin Emerson comes to mind. Obviously, he's going to be probably a starter anyway, but there will be some other players that will come in. Dalvin Tomlinson, this opens the door. Maybe we talked about who's going to be on that defensive line. Ika, the kid that they picked up this offseason, Quentin Jefferson. So who all is going to be in that defensive line? This is giving opportunity for those guys to really step up and do some things. To be honest, this news, I'd be shocked if Dalvin Tomlinson was ready for week one, and I'd be shocked if Greg Newsome was ready. Greg Newsome was always, I have to go back and look, but there would be other times where he would be a late scratch, in some of these games. And so again, this does not sit well with me. We'll talk to the Fanatical Elves guys in a little bit, over an hour, and we'll get their assessment on it. But Amari Cooper signed his deal. Got that. He didn't get an extension, but they reworked the contract. He's getting guaranteed, $18 million of it right up front. The other $1.5 million he'll get also guaranteed. But Amari came on and spoke today, and he really missed training camp. Hadn't really made mini camp. Hadn't missed one of those in the past. But he wanted some guarantees. He wanted that guaranteed money. Not wanting to be injured, in case he was injured, he wanted that guaranteed money. He got his way. He got his thing. We'll see. He said he doesn't want to, if something's not broken, don't fix it. And he sounded like a guy that really wants to be back with Cleveland, but this new contract and everything, it's going to sound like he'll be a free agent come next March or April. We'll have a lot of time to talk about it. But for right now, Amari is in line to be our number one wide receiver, and it could be one special season. So happy to see Amari there. Saw some video of Nick Chubb on the premises down there in Greenbrier, all smiles. Good to see Nick there with the team. I'm sure we'll get a lot more reports. The other big news for Brownie fans is that Kevin Stefanski is not giving up the play calling. He's going to continue doing the play calling. His assessment and reading some of the quotes and what he said sounded like he was a guy that basically decided there's a bunch of these new guys, new tight end coach, new offensive coordinator, new running back coach, and he doesn't trust these guys yet. And thus he's going to call plays like he has in the past. So Kevin, get ready to be criticized up and down, all the way around this season. Do we trust Kevin? Probably more than we have in the past. I trust him a little bit more. I'm not as totally against it right now, but it is something to keep an eye on. Okay, we're going to pause for a quick commercial break. This is the Fanatical Elves Network. This is Browns training camp day 1 in review. We'll be right back. We're back. You like those tantalizing commercials? We're going to have our Fanatical Elves programming here in just over an hour. Right now it's about 7:45. The show starts about 8:45-ish tonight. We've got a new show coming up Monday, July 29th, 9 p.m. Stirring the Pot with me and Lou Marconi. That's right, Lou Marconi and Johnny Cleveland, stirring the pot. We're excited to be bringing you this new show. Should be a lot of fun. Lou and I like to talk a lot, and we'll see what we can stir up. I'm sure there'll be a lot more stories over the weekend. Like I said, I'm just not a happy camper right now. When I saw that news of Greg Newsome and Delvin Tomlinson being on the PUP list, did not sit well. Now, Nick Chubb is on the PUP list, but he's on the active PUP list, which means, again, that he could potentially be ready to go in week 1. They didn't put him on the inactive list, so that's a good indication that very well Nick Chubb might be ready in week 1. Wrote an article about Nick Chubb and his rise up that ladder board recently for Fans First and for Northeast Sports Insiders. Take a look at that. He's number 4, currently going to smash by run past Mike Pruitt here in probably the first game that he plays in. And then he's got his eyes set on Leroy Kelly, 764 yards away. And then he just has Jim Brown in front of him. Can he catch Jim Brown? Depends if the Brownies and Chubb work out a deal and that Chubb stays a Cleveland Brown. I pray to God every day that the Browns understand that Nick Chubb is not your ordinary NFL football player. He's not your ordinary NFL running back. And to all of you who disagree with me, boo-hoo on you. You're wrong. Nick Chubb is Batman. Don't forget it. All right, folks. Well, that's the news today. We'll see what happens in day 2. Just happy to see the Browns are back. We got preseason games around the bend. I think the Browns play the Green Bay Packers in the first preseason game, then the Chicago Bears, and they travel all the way out to Seattle, Washington for their final preseason game. That'll be interesting. By the way, I talked about this in my podcast yesterday. A lot of NFL crazies out there are talking about Green Bay going to the Super Bowl and stuff. Come on now, Jordan Love. Give me a freaking break. I'm not a big fan of Jordan Love. Maybe you are, but I'm a Browns fan. We want Deshaun to step up. By the way, I'm writing an article reviewing the what's the word I'm trying to think of? The roadblocks in front of Deshaun when he got here to Cleveland. Some of the things that he had to overcome. And I ran into an article I wrote a couple years ago for Dog Pound Daily, and reviewing that, interesting to see what kind of roadblocks were in front of him then and how he's managed with that. So we'll talk about that. I'm writing this article, kind of reviewing that. So that'll be coming up out here on the Fans First Sports Network as well here in the next day or two. So catch that. Really appreciate that. Again, download us, folks. Download us, please, for God's sakes. Apple, Spotify. I know you love watching us on YouTube, on the X, on Facebook, and that's great. You can see our pretty faces, but we really need you to download us on Apple and Spotify. That's the most important thing. That would be the biggest way that you can help us out. We don't have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube yet. We're growing, but not that fast. But we do hope that you download us on Apple, on Spotify. Go Browns! Day 1 is in the books. We'll talk more about it on the Fanatical Elves Network here momentarily. Take care, everybody. See ya.